chest day. Nice little chest day. Had to get gas. Um, let's see. Trying to figure out which way I want to leave the gas station. 'Cause it's like right at an intersection. Um, Anywho, uh, chest day. I'm not gonna lie. I am. I'm enjoying the split, and I realized I was enjoying the split when I was getting ready for legs yesterday, and I'm like, you know what? On the bright side, I get chest tomorrow. Um, my fucking seat. But so I have no plans to change it at all from what I did the last two chest days. So Smith, uh, decline, converging press, flies. I might add some shoulders. I don't feel like I need to train them. I haven't been training them. Um, but I kind of want to train them if I feel like there's, time to do so. Just because, I don't know. Like, it's not going to entirely hurt. Uh, yeah, they could be over proportioned, but it's not like I train them that much anymore. So, and if I have the time, might as well. What I'm not going to do is I'm not going to pull time away from like chest or something else, or even just like my day to, to do them. Like, eat, like, let's say I'm doing my chest day, and I finished all my chest stuff, uh, with ample time, but maybe I want to go home and watch the Batman movie, and adding shoulders would cut into time for that, for whatever reason. I'm not going to do shoulders because I don't have enough of a need to do shoulders. Um, yeah, that's smart. Um, so that's the plan with that. Uh, Food wise, little food update. I am transitioning some of my, well, not some. I'm working on trying to transition my food choices to cheaper ones, cheaper and slightly faster digesting. Um, for anybody that's been, keen on paying attention when I talk about stuff, you might know that as of late, my kind of like one of my main protein sources has been egg whites, and carb sources have been mainly like English muffins, uh, and bagels with cream of rice. Uh, but so I'm working on transitioning basically all my carb sources to rice, white jasmine rice to be specific, along with pineapple for certain reasons. But and then protein source, I really want to rotate and shift that mainly towards chicken because I live in chicken country on the eastern shore, and it's very easy to get. It's very easy to get really cheap chicken, but I shouldn't say really easy. I am lucky in that I have somebody that works at Purdue, so I'm able to get chicken at $half a pound. So I get like every 2 3 weeks, I'll be getting about 40 pounds of chicken for like $20. So that's nice. Um, yeah, I think I did the math, and I think I'll be going through about, I think, probably 20 pounds a week. That sounds about right. Yeah, that sounds about right. 20 pounds a week probably. Um, so that would put my food. This guy's creeping into my lane. That would put my food at, like, for the day, meal one, if I can remember the exact numbers, 2 whole eggs and like 6 something ounces of chicken, 6.5, something like that. I have it all written out. Meal two, I think 6.6 ounces of chicken breast. 140 grams of pineapple. And I think it's 160 grams of rice. Pre-meal is going to stay the same. Cream of rice, pineapple, protein powder. Intra is going to stay the same. 125 grams of carbs through a carb powder. Post meal, that's not staying the same, actually. That's going to be about, I think, 4 ounces of chicken. 257 grams of carbs through rice, which I think, keep in mind, it's going to vary for everybody depending on how wet and soppy or dry you cook your chicken. But it's about like 700 grams of rice, I think. And then 100 grams of pineapple, maybe 140. So yeah, post meal is like 4 ounces of chicken, like 700-ish grams of carbs. I mean, grams of rice. Like some amount of pineapple, I don't remember. Meal 5 is the exact same as meal 2. And then meal 6, I want to say, is 8 ounces of 80/20 ground beef, 60 grams of carbs from rice, and like a serving of pineapple. So 140 grams of pineapple. And it's pretty simple right now the way my food is, because if I subtract the carbs from my intra, which is, stable and consistent. When I say stable and consistent, the thing that always like gives my OCD, like makes me tweak about food, when it comes to rice, is that, depending on how wet or dry you cook the batch, its total weight is going to change, which is going to mean that, its total, or not, its weight per serving is going to change each time. So you almost have to know how many servings you're cooking, and then weigh out the total batch, and then divide that by the number of servings. Then also it might dry out in the fridge, whatever. But it's really simple for me, because if I take my total amount of carbs for the day, subtract my intro, which is always consistent because it's a carb powder, my cream of rice from the pre-workout, which is always consistent, and the pineapple, I know that I just have to go through 12 servings of rice in the whole day. So I make it either the night before or in the morning, and it might vary slightly in a few grams meal to meal, but the overall daily total is going to be the exact same. Anyways, that's enough yapping. There's more that I want to yap about, but I can do that on the way home. Right now, we got to get in there and get started with our lift. All right. Chest day went very nicely. Uh, I kind of have no clue how long it took me because I didn't really pay attention to the clock when I got here. But I want to say I was there for hour and a half max. And I was with a little bit of yapping at the end. The reason I don't know my time is because I had to wait for my clothes to dry. So I was a little running behind today. Probably just by like a half hour. I also got up a little later because Anna was driving out of town today, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start my day a little later. That way I can sleep in with her, get some cuddles. But yeah, so lift went good. Not too much to talk about from it. If I think of something, I'll come back to it. But something I did want to chat about is I watched Hostile's video of Sam's day of eating. And like I knew he's not eating like the cleanest. And also I just want to preface like nothing in what I'm about to say is like at all bashing or trying to like criticize what he's doing. I'm simply just chatting about it. So with that out of the way. Yeah, it was not what I was expecting, and I knew it was going to be interesting when it started out, and the first meal was a half gallon of chocolate milk, whole milk at that. And just for a quick run through the meals, if I get anything wrong, I'm sorry, but I want to say it was half gallon of chocolate milk, whole milk. A little bit later, he had his pre-meal, which I believe was 4 servings of cinnamon toast crunch, and I believe 4 servings of 4 cups of whole milk. That's his pre-meal. Because Sam, to my understanding, is very much, hey, as long as I get my protein and my calories in. But so I'll talk about that after. So then he had his intra, which I think it was like 50 grams of carbs. I think. I don't remember exactly. His typical post-workout shake. After the post-workout shake, him and Fuad went straight to Five Guys, and I think he got 2 burgers, and I don't know. He might have gotten fries. I really don't know. I think I was skipping through that part because I forget what I was doing, but I was trying to finish the video because I wanted to see like what the rest of the food was. So yeah, he got 2 burgers, I believe, from Five Guys, and then I think the only other thing he had for the day was, I think, a half dozen, so 6 original glazed Krispy Kreme donuts, and I think another 4 cups of whole milk. Which, if we're keeping count, I want to say that puts him at a gallon of whole milk for the day. And I think he said he's eating around 5,200 calories. I did not catch what his protein total is, but so that just gives you an idea of kind of how he's eating, and I believe he eats just kind of how he wants, as long as he hits his totals. Very, very different than what I'm doing. Very different than what I'm doing. And I find it interesting because like everybody thinks like, oh, you have to like I always say to people, you don't have to eat how I eat or the type that I'm eating or whatever. But I mean, look at him. He's eating that way. And he looks fucking big as shit. And he looks good. And there's gonna be people sitting here going, oh well, he's on this, he's on that. That's not why he fucking like. He could be taking all the same stuff, lifting the exact same, and eating the exact same amount of stuff, but just change his food sources. He's gonna look the exact same. The only thing that might change is he might have a little less acne. But that's not why he looks the way he looks. Or I should say, that's not why he's able to eat like that. He's able to eat like that because it just works for him. I can't eat like that because 2 reasons: digestion, but also acne. And also, another preface, whatever. Any mention of his acne, I want to make sure that it doesn't come off as me at all critiquing or insulting. I struggled with acne through high school. I got made fun of for it. I didn't like that. And so one thing you'll never see me doing is making fun of somebody else's acne. And I know that's something that people like to critique him on a lot. So that is not at all what I'm doing when I mention it. I imagine if he ate cleaner, it would actually probably clean up like a great deal. But he probably just doesn't care. To him, whatever he feels, if he feels like he dislikes his acne, is probably not worth the effort of not eating how he wants in order to get rid of it. Which, hey man, more power to you. I am a very self-conscious person. I wish I didn't care as much. But yeah, so that's the number one reason why I eat super clean. On the way here, I talked to you guys about what I ate, what I'm eating. Uh, and when I'm gonna cut, it doesn't matter as much because there's just not as much food. But when you're throwing down such high volumes of food, it's so much for your body to process, and so it can be a little bit more effective in terms of being smart with your food choices if you're acne prone. So that's the number one reason why I do it. And then the other reason is digestion. Now, granted, I used to eat somewhat like that when I was bulking for football. And in all honesty, my stomach could probably handle it. Uh, the first few weeks, I would definitely be farting and gassy. But you give me a few weeks to a month, and my stomach would probably readjust. But my skin definitely probably wouldn't. Um, but nevertheless, that's all. I thought it was very interesting. I will say, watching it, I was like, damn, I kind of miss eating like that. Because it definitely makes the whole bodybuilding lifestyle a lot more. I don't know if fun's the right word, because I don't want to say that I don't enjoy what I'm doing or that it's not fun. It's just a lot more. I don't even know what the right word is. I mean, you can tell that everything that Sam does in terms of he does this because he enjoys it. He does it when he goes to lift. He lifts the way he wants to lift, not the way somebody tells him that he should lift. He lifts for the passion. I mean, I think it was Fuad in the video was describing about it's all very passion driven. He goes in the gym. He gets a lift because of what he feels. It's all very, you know, off of his intuition, how he feels, how he wants. And you can tell he does the same thing with his diet, the same thing with his training, and all that stuff. Um, and there's people that can get away with that, and there's people that can't. And that's where genetics plays a role into it. I mean, I will say I definitely have no clue. Like I think Sam's got elite genetics. And I would not feel uncomfortable saying that I think he is better or more capable genetics than I do. I mean, he's been focusing on putting on size and doing all this stuff, and been doing it smarter for longer than I have. But nevertheless, it's not a. I'm not going to sit here and try and compare. But I will say, I don't think I could progress the way that I have been had I been eating like he does, or living like he does, or training like he does. And in the same sense, or better put, I don't think I could progress like he does if I was eating and training, living like he does. Uh, I like there's definitely there's people in the world, there's people in the fitness community that have better genetics, better potential than I do. And with that understanding, my philosophy on it is if I know I have setbacks from the genetic standpoint and I can't control that piece of the puzzle, I'm going to try and dial in every other piece of the puzzle, to try and give myself as much of a competitive edge with everybody else. So I think that's definitely a very interesting thing. Just it's very, I don't know if eye opening is the right word, but it puts a magnitude of, I'm trying to say this without sounding like dick righty. Um, it puts a magnitude of respect to what he's been doing and accomplishing, with the understanding of you know he's not as dialed in or by the books, I think you should say, as so many people out there are trying to be and saying that you have to be, and yet look at him, he's making it work. Anyways, uh I think that is my daily allotment of talking about other men in a positive light for the day. um so uh anyways, that's about it. It was definitely a fun video to watch. Um, I think he might go to school with my brother. I have no clue. I have no clue. But, anyways, I'm home. I'm hungry. I think I'm gonna go to Sam's Club after this and see if they have a giant sausage of red meat. 80/20 ideally. Video. Good. Outro.